humongous week over in the Championship, both at the top and the bottom. Who's going to take advantage of this coming Easter period? We'll take a look at that and much more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. Today is all about Matchday number 43, that's right, in the Championship, and we'll get to it in a second. Of course, if you're new where you've been, smash your subscribe button, your one-stop shop for Championship, Blackburn Rovers, World Football. We're going to all here under one rooski, that's right. Big game between Luton Town and Derby at Pride Park. We'll take a look at that bastard in just a second. Of course, if you know where you've been, hit the old subscribe. Your one-stop shop is here. A big shout out to the members and, of course, the patrons. You know who you are. So what we're going to do now, though, is revisit the last round of games, bring you bang up to date with those, and then, of course, plough forward to Good Friday, Easter Friday's fixtures this coming weekend. So sit tight, hold on. Let's get into it, of course, and recap the results. It's been a good week for Rovers. Happy with that. And, of course, a good week for Burnley as they coming into this in the second spot in the table. Comfortably clear over Sheffield United side. 2-1 win for them over Norwich. Oh, the 2-0 win. Leeds with a 2-0 win over Preston over the 3-1 win. Plymouth did beat Sheffield United to give themselves hope down the foot of the table. 2-1 win in the end. Cardiff also losing to Stoke. Massive win for them down the foot of the table. A humongous win for Rovers. Just psychologically get the first win for Big Val over Luton Town. Millwall with a 1-0 win over Middlesbrough. I called it, lads. Called it. Portsmouth 2 and Derby 2. A thriller game down there. QPR 1, Bristol City 1. Got that one spot on the nose. Meanwhile, Oxford United with an away win against Sheffield Wednesday. Swansea also beating Sunderland 1-0 and West Brom with a 2-1 win over Watford as predicted. Now, there is a game tonight. It is, of course, Hull against Coventry, and it could, of course, shape the table. I think I did go with a victory for Coventry on that one, so bear with me on that. So I don't think this table reflects that victory. Of course, we'll see about that. But my next final table at the end of the video will compute the results for this coming Friday's matches as well as this Monday. So I have given Coventry the 3 points. I think they'll win 2-1. It'll be a good game because Hull need the win, as do Coventry, to maintain that top six dream. So that is that. I'm not giving you an update with the Super Blue because there was one game still to be played, and that's going to delay the updated prediction board there. So we're going to just plough straight into it and, of course, take a look at the games then, shall we? Now, I am thinking about doing at least a double watch-along this coming weekend with a Sheffield Derby against Luton Town. So we are looking at doing that. So come on, ladies. Come on, gents. Come on, my watch along. So that'll be Friday for that. But then, of course, we'll follow it up with Blackburn against Millwall. But anyway, enough about that. Let's talk about Derby and Luton Town at Pride Park. Ding Dong Classic Derby. John Eustace's boy, 21st on the table. They're out the drop zone. 43 points for the season. Without a win, though, in the last three matches. Up against Luton under Matt Bloomfield. Just one defeat in the last six. That's right. Now, they played 17 times since 1993. 6 wins apiece and 5 draws between the two sides. Luton Town in 23rd with 40 points. Just 3 points separate the two sides. A win, in fact, for Luton won't actually take them above Derby because Derby haven't got a better goal difference. So that might be an extra catalyst in this old relegation mire. Now, the last time they played at Derby, it was a 2-2 draw way back in October 2021. The reverse fixture at Kenilworth Road was a 2-1 win for Luton back in December. Derby, though, with a 2-2 draw against Pompey. That was most recently, of course, back-to-back draws for them. Big draws against Burnley and Portsmouth. They ain't no slouches there. But they did lose to Swansea, of course. Meanwhile, Luton Town on the back of that 1-0 loss to Rovers. Stoke, though, was their last away match, and they picked up a draw over there. The bookies' odds for this one, quite tight. Derby fancied by the bookies, but for me, I saw Luton Town. Luton Town were unlucky, I think, to be honest with you, against Rovers. They've got a lot of firepower in there, but Derby are well organised, especially at home. So this is going to be a tough one. I've gone pretty boring, guys. I'm sorry. I've gone with the draw, sitting on the fence, 1-1 draw, which does do Derby a big old boost against one of their rivals anyway. So 1-1 in the end, Derby County and Luton Town. Let's hop on over though to Ewood Park. We'll be back for this watch along and hopefully make it 3 games unbeaten for Big Val. We'll see. Valerian Ishmael's boys are 10th right now, 56 points for the season up against Millwall under Alex Neil, who are cooking right now, and they could be the team that does it. You know what I mean? Come out of nowhere and get into the top 6. Now, they played at Blackburn 21 times since 2012. 10 wins Rovers, 4 wins Millwall, 7 draws. Got it in my head now, guys. I'm sorry. They sit 9th right now, 60 points for the season. Just one defeat, though, in the last 5. They are cooking. Rovers, though, haven't won. That's a load of crap. We're back-to-back games now, unbeaten under Big Val. Hopefully, the start of something. Now, the last time that these two sides played at Blackburn, it was a 1-1 draw way back in March 2024. The reverse fixture at the Den back in December was a 1-0 win for Millwall. So we've been pretty much even Stevens over the last 3, but if you open it up over the last 6, Rovers are pretty good in this fixture, just 1 defeat in the last 6. That was the last one. Rovers on the back of that 1-0 win over Luton. Millwall on the back of that 1-0 win over Borough. Back-to-back clean sheets for them. They seem to get their noses in front and just hold it out. The bookies odds on this one. Rovers now favoured for the victory on this one. I'm going with a 2-0 win as well for my boys. Denting Millwall's dreams and maybe boosting, just at least giving us a little bit of a spark, an ember of something. We'll see though. Meanwhile, no need for an ember. Bristol City up against Sunderland coming at Ashton Gate. Bristol City under Liam Manning are 5th right now, 64 points for the season, just 1 defeat in the last 6 up against Sunderland under Reggie Labrie. 50% form for them right now, 1-2 lost to and drawn to over the last 6. They sit 4th with 76 points for the season. Now they played 13 times since 1993, 3 wins apiece and 7 draws, of course. Last time around over at Thrashton Gate was a 1-0 win for Bristol City back in December 2023. The reverse fixture at Stadium Light was a 1-1 draw. Now 4 of the last 6 between these two sides have ended up all square. Bristol City on the back of that 1-1 draw against QPR. Sunderland losing to Swansea. They've actually got back-to-back games without a win, back-to-back games without a goal. Are they playing their second string side? I've not really paid too much attention to that. But anyway, the bookies odds on this one. Bristol City are favoured for the victory. Sunderland not so much. I've gone with a 2-0 win for the Robins to boost their top 6 realistically, cement their teeth into that top 6, you think. Meanwhile, another team looking to do that will be Coventry, of course. Taking on Hull City tonight. Bristol City, Coventry City taking on West Brom as well, who are back in it. Big win for them last time around. Tony Moore under a bit of pressure. But this game is massive for West Brom if they are also to close in on the top 6. Coventry, though, 6th in the table for 62 points for the season. They won 3, lost 3 over the last 6 up against West Brom under Tony Moore. Just 1 win in the last 6. Now, they played 18 times since 2001. 3 wins, Coventry, 13 wins. West Brom, there's been 2 draws between the two sides. Last time around at the RCA, Rico Arena, whatever you want to call it, it was a 2-0 win for West Brom back in October 2023. The reverse fixture, a 2-0 win for the Baggies back in December 2024. In fact, West Brom have won 4 on the spin against Coventry. Also, just a reminder that this is another one of those illustrious Tony Mowbray derbies. Coventry on the back of that 1-0 win over Portsmouth. West Brom with a 2-1 win over Watford at the Hawthorns. The bookies odds on this one. Coventry still fancied by the bookies for this. I've gone with a 1-1 draw, point down the middle. Of course, more hope than desperation for West Brom. Coventry will be all right, I still think, for the grand scheme of things. So a point at the bag there for Coventry. Meanwhile, the Borough, they're taking on Plymouth. Middlesbrough season is just, you think they're cooking and then they just falter, don't they? At the Riverside, Michael Carrick's boys are 8th with 60 points for the season. Back-to-back defeats for them up against Plymouth under Miro Musolic. 2 defeats in the last 6 as well. Both sides 58% form for them, and they played 6 times since 2009. 2 wins for the Borough, 2 wins for Plymouth, and there's been 2 draws between the two sides. Major difference, though, between the two sides. Borough are 8th, Plymouth are 24th. They are bottom. But, of course, big win for them last time around. Last time around, between these two sides at the Riverside, it was a 2-0 win for Plymouth way back in February 2024. The reverse fixture, a 3-3 draw back in December at Plymouth to make it, in the league. Now, 3 games unbeaten for Plymouth over Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough, though, picking up a 1-0 loss to Millwall. Back-to-back games now without a goal and back-to-back defeats for them. Plymouth, though, on that 2-1 a home win against Sheffield United. The odds for this one, Middlesbrough still expected to win. They really are. Going with a 3-1 win for them as well to boost their top 6 hearts and put one more nail in the coffin of Plymouth Argyle. Let's go to Watford then, Vicarage Road, as they take on Burnley. Coming at you, of course, Tom Cleverley's boys are 11th, 56 points for the season. Just 1 win in the last 5 up against Burnley. Scotty Parker's boys unbeaten in at least the last 6. They won 4 of the last 5. They sit second, 88 points for them. 40 times they played Watford. 11 wins for the hosts, 18 wins for Burnley, and there's been 11 draws. Now, the last time I played over at Vicarage Road, it was a 1-0 win for Watford back in August 2022. The reverse fixture at Turdmore, just the 1 goal between them. 2-1 winners it was for Burnley. Burnley, though, with a 2-1 win over Norwich most recently. Watford losing to West Brom last time around. The odds for this one, Burnley once again expected to get the W. I've gone with a 2-0 win for the Dingles, 6-fingered freaks, the banjo players, and of course that will be in 1 step closer to promotion. That's right. Meanwhile, Norwich up against Portsmouth coming at Carrow Road. Norwich under Jonas Tullup, they are 13th for the table, 53 points for the season. Just 1 win, though, in the last 6. Up against Portsmouth under John Massinho, just 1 win also in the last 6. Now, they have played 22 times since 1995. 8 wins Norwich, 6 wins Portsmouth. 8 draws between the two sides. Norwich, though, what we say about Norwich? Norwich, last time that these two sides played at Carrow Road, in the league. It was a 2-0 win for Portsmouth back in December 2010. Pompey, though, picking up a win. They didn't win, did they? Sorry, it's a 0-0 draw. 0-0 draw last time around at Fratton Park back in December. Portsmouth, though, on the back of that 2-2 draw against Derby. Norwich losing to Burnley. Both sides just desperate for a win. Portsmouth, you'd think they would safe, but, a couple wins down there. From the team struggling, and Portsmouth could be in trouble. Bookies odds on this one going in favour of Norwich. I do think Norwich will win this game, 2-1 win, not by a massive distance, but enough to put Portsmouth in a bit of trouble. Meanwhile, Preston up against QPR, a bit of a mid-table blanker. This one, dead rubber, you would imagine. Paul Heckingbottom's boys are 16th right now, 49 points for the season, up against QPR, who are on 15th with 50 points. They played 35 times to 2,000, 14 wins for the Nobbers, 11 wins for QPR, and 10 draws. Now, Preston winless in the last 5 matches up against QPR, unbeaten in the last 3, just 1 defeat in the last 5. Of course, coming at you last time around at Deepdale was a 2-0 win for QPR back in December 2023. The reverse fixture at Loftus Road, 2-1 win as well for QPR. The visitors have won 3 on the spin against Preston. Preston, though, losing to Leeds most recently. QPR on the back of that draw at home to Bristol City. The odds for this one, they'll go in favour of Preston. I've also gone in favour of Preston to get their first win in a bit for Paul Heckingbottom's boys. Stoke City, though, on Sheffield Wednesday at the Bet365. Of course, Mark Robinson's boys, 18th for the table, 47 points for the season, just 1 defeat in the last 6. Up against Sheffield Wednesday, Danny Roll, 14th for the table, 53 points for the season. They are winless in the last 5. They played 19 times, these two clubs, since 2002. 5 wins Stoke, 5 wins Wednesday, and 9 draws. Last time around, over at the Bet365, it was a 1-0 win for Wednesday back in December 2023. The reverse fixture at Hillsborough, 2-0 win as it was for Sheffield Wednesday as well. Wednesday are actually unbeaten against Stoke over the last 3. Stoke picking up a 1-0 win over Cardiff most recently. Wednesday with that 1-0 win, 1-0 loss to Oxford last time around. The odds for this one, though, remember, Sheffield Wednesday better on the road, but the bookies don't see it. Stoke taking the edge. I've gone with a 2-1 win for Wednesday to do their thing on the road. Into the final 3, we go to Wales. Swansea against Hull City. Hull City taking on Coventry tonight. Remember that, swansea-city.com, the stadium, the venue. Alan Sheehan's boys are unbeaten in the last 4. They've won 3 on the spin. They sit 12th with 54 points for the season. Hull, Ruben Selles, just 1 win in the last 4 for them as of recording. They sit 20th. At the moment, they played 25 times in 2003, 7 wins Swansea, 11 wins Hull, 7 draws between the two sides. Last time around, over at in Wales, there was a 2-2 draw way back in November 2023. The reverse fixture at the MKM was a 2-1 win for Hull back in December. December. Swansea City on the back of that 1-0 over Sunderland, back-to-back wins, back-to-back clean sheets. In fact, 3 clean sheets on the spin. And that's also 3 wins on the spin. Hull losing to Watford most recently, 1-0 loss at Vicarage Road. The bookies odds right here, right now, looking at it. What are we looking at? It is tight. Swansea City just edge it. I've gone with a 2-0 win as well to keep their end of the season form on in great shape. Final 2 must win. Sheffield United against Cardiff, who must win themselves, of course. Chris Wilder's boys are 3rd. 83 points for the season, 3 defeats on the spin up against Cardiff and Omar Ritza. 22nd in the table, 42 points for the season. They're winless in the last 4 themselves. They played Sheffield United 23 times to 2003, 10 wins for the hosts, 7 wins for the visitors, 6 draws between the two sides. Last time around in the league, it was a 4-1 win at Bramall Lane back in April 2023. The reverse fixture in Wales was a 2-0 win for Sheffield United back in December. And they also played a second time this season already. It was at Bramall Lane back in January 2025. It was a 1-0 win for Cardiff in the FA Cup. Cardiff, though, losing to Stoke most recently. Sheffield United losing to Plymouth most recently. The odds on this one, Sheffield United expected to bounce back and hard. I've gone with a 3-0 win for them to get over the line. And then finally we go to the Kazam. It's Oxford, it's Leeds. It's, of course, Gary Wright's boys are 17th right now, 48 points for the season. They've won 3 and lost 3 over the last 6. Up against Leeds under Daniel Farker. They are top of the table, 75% form for them, as unbeaten in at least the last 6 matches. They played 4 times in 2012, 3 wins Leeds, 1 for Oxford. There's been no draws between the two sides. Last time around, over at the Kazam, they've yet to play each other at Kazam in recent times anyway. They played a friendly, but the reverse fixture last time around between these two sides at Ireland was a 4-0 win for Leeds back in December. Oxford, though, with that important 1-0 away win to Sheffield Wednesday. Leeds with a 2-1 win over Preston. The bookies' odds on this one, I'll go with Leeds on this, but I don't think it's going to be that clear-cut. I've gone with the 1-1 draw. It's all eyes on this one. A bit of pressure on that, maybe. Sheffield United winning, Burnley winning. Leeds might choke a little bit under the pressure. And, of course, that will make it a little bit lively, won't it? Heading into Easter Monday's fixtures, of course. Burnley will be tip at the top of the table. Well, are we? 5 points clear over Sheffield United with 3 games remaining. Leeds will be in second spot, of course, as Sheffield United will be in third. Going down will be Plymouth, still not down. Luton also not down. Cardiff in the drop zone at the moment. So you would think, realistically, it's 18th downwards. I think you probably could say Oxford are safe. 7 points clear with only 9 on the table. So that's my take. Of course, guys, subscribe, smash the like. Catch you later. Until then, guys and girls, we're done.